when I was about 9 years old, I found a metal miniature in the backyard of the apartment complex I lived in. It was shiny, old, heavy. I didn't know what it was, I just knew it was cool. I showed it to my older cousin, and he said he'd take it to school and ask around. The next day, he came back and said, yeah, it's a Space Marine. So I asked my grandma to look up Space Marines and where I could buy more. A place came up, a hobby shop called Evolution Gaming. It was a long drive away, but luckily for me, it was right next to my orthodontist, which meant a deal was struck. I'd go to the orthodontist, a place I hated, and afterwards, my parents would take me to Evolution Gaming. Sometimes we bought something, most of the time we didn't. We didn't have a ton of disposable income, and these were just about the most expensive quote-unquote toys I've ever seen. That said, I enjoyed the hobby side of things quite a bit, as well as the creative freedom it awarded me. Even though I always seemed to paint them the color of the box art, I suppose I liked the idea that I didn't have to. That being said, whether or not we bought, I always got time to look. And the first thing that caught my eye wasn't the boxes. It was the glass display cabinets. They were different from everything else in the store. Clear shelves filled with fully painted miniatures and armies. Some belonged to staff, some to commissioned painters, and next to them were little cards with phone numbers or social media handles. It was the first time I realized, oh, people make this stuff look like that. Now here's the funny part. Right next to those cabinets were the Space Marines. And I never bought them. I was a kid who loved Lord of the Rings and Narnia. I found Star Trek boring and slow. Sci-fi just didn't grab me. Fantasy did. So I bought Warhammer Fantasy, Black Orcs, Chaos Warriors, anything big, threatening, and numerous. I even bought the Empire Army book, and I devoured it. The art, the uniforms, the different provinces, I was hooked. But as much as I liked Warhammer Fantasy, my real love in the store was something else entirely. See, the squads of 28mm Warhammer product was awesome, but to a kid hooked at such an early age on watching Rome Total War Let's Plays by channels like Prince of Macedonia, the scope didn't seem right. I just didn't jive with the scale. There were larger forces of smaller scale in that display cabinet. Not just that, they were historical minis. They were Flames of War. If you're newer to Flames of War, like within the last 5 years, do yourself a favor and go look up the old box art, especially the original Stug assault gun box. That artwork hit me like nothing else ever had. The infantry riding on the vehicle, the sense of movement and scale, it wasn't just an advertisement, it was art. And I bought a lot of Flames of War over the years. A US rifle company, German armored rifle platoons, half-tracks, pioneers, birthdays, Christmas, the occasional just because. Unfortunately, when I got back into Warhammer, around age 20, I sold all of it. I didn't see value in models I wasn't painting. And then, my 22nd birthday. My friend Chad and I left early before the rest of the group showed up. He asked, "What do you want to do?" And instantly, I knew. Evolution Gaming. We walked in and there it was, the original Stug platoon. The same box art, the same feeling. I bought it, and I haven't looked back. I love Flames of War. It's where my love of history, painting, and commanding large forces all meet. And honestly, it feels like coming home.